Hey everybody, welcome to War Budgies. Today we are playing Fallout. So today is going to be the first ever inaugural War Budgies Fallout Wasteland Warfare battle report. And if you're wondering when did this dork start doing battle reports? Today this dork started doing battle reports. What we're going to do today is we'll run you through the Fallout Wasteland Warfare game by Modifius, just a quick little tutorial mission just to show you kind of how the mechanics work and all that. If you're new to the game, I'll have some links in the description below. You can go do some videos that show you how it works. If you are a veteran of Fallout Wasteland Warfare, please help to keep me honest and call me out if I mess up any rules. I will try to keep a running list in the description of anything that I know I messed up. But barring that, let's get into the action. Alright, for the survivors team, we've got a 4-man group here to find some power armor. They're going to be led by Nora, who is running as Sole Survivor Day 1 with a pistol and some jet, and Codsworth with his flamer, buzzsaw, and his accent. Backing them up, it's going to be 2 settlers, Benji and Sarah, respectively. Benji packing a baseball bat and a pipe pistol, Sarah carrying her hunting rifle, and both of them with a nice refreshing side of Nuka-Cola. For Team Super Mutant, the scenario requires they be split in half. So the first wave is going to be a brute with a sledgehammer. He'll be carrying some psycho and some squirrel bits because psycho squirrels are delicious. And he'll have a mutant hound with a hound bite. His reinforcements, who will arrive on turn 3 from the attacker's board edge, is an aviator, shotgun, huge club, and his own mutant hound. This team will be run using the AI rules from Fallout Wasteland Warfare. Have a look at the deployment map. So this is our scenario for the day. Everyone's already set up. The attackers are in their deployment zone over here on the south side of the board. Sarah has climbed up a nearby billboard for vantage point, where Nora and the others are proceeding on towards the wreckage. The first half of Team Super Mutant is already on the board and ready to charge. Now the way the suit up scenario works is there are 5 searchable markers here on the map. One of them is a suit of armor, the others are a grab bag of danger, stim packs, or maybe nothing at all. The survivors have to get out, find the power armor, put it on, and then escape off of their own home board edge here to the south. Super Mutants just have to kill them. The Super Mutants have the advantage. The Brute will start off taking both his actions to move up yellow distance and try to close the range between him and the survivors as fast as he can. Responding to him breaking cover, Sarah will throw a double tap from her hunting rifle at long range into his upper torso, hitting on 6s, 1 hit with an armor break against armor of 1 now, and the Brute takes both, bringing him down to 6 health total. Sarah's second shot hitting on 6s as well, hits with the bonus damage, so 3 damage against armor 2, and he takes all 3 of those as well. His mutant hound will charge up forwards red distance, and then we'll scope out a long bomb blue charge into Nora, easily making that distance and rushing the group of survivors. Looking to head off the Brute, Codsworth will move up red distance and will engage with his Mr. Handy Flamer. Rolls an automatic hit with a quick action and sets his enemy on fire. The Brute's armor blocks both of the damage, but Codsworth can take a prepare action and the Brute is now on fire, as if that wasn't terrifying enough. Nora will try to put some bullets into the mutant hound in front of her, rolling an astounding automatic hit with 4 damage. Mutant hound with armor of 1 takes all 4 points of damage and goes down to 1 health. Nora still has a bullet in the chamber, follows up with another automatic hit, 3 damage, against an armor of 1. Nothing the mutant hound can do to save this one. And with a whimper and a puddle of saliva, it goes down. She takes a prepare action, and Benji remembers that they're actually there for a reason. He moves on past the chaos, a double yellow move, towards the nearest searchable marker hidden underneath the aircraft's wing. Here at the end of turn 1, Codsworth and the Brute are squaring off. Nora has finished off her opponent. Sarah is maintaining her overwatch position, and Benji's moving on towards the wing. Things are looking good for the survivors. Our new event card is Fresh, Welcome Breeze. We'll have yellow blanks will be treated as -1s, making it easier to hit. As the opening play, the Brute will take a damage for being on fire automatically, and we will flip a luck token to see if he stays on fire. The fire goes out. Stop, drop, and roll, big buddy. He will then take a dose of Psycho, which will give him some extra armor and a bonus black die in melee combat. Now Codsworth will be having none of this, and he uses his prepare action to try to barbecue the Brute again with his flamer. And it's a miss. Good try, buddy. Finally, the Brute closes out his turn by leaping into combat. It will be a charge action against Codsworth. Nora's turn. Her prepare action is discarded because she hasn't moved yet. And she will move up 2 yellow distances around the swirling melee in order to go for the item back there on the chopper. Codsworth, meanwhile, will retaliate with his Mr. Handy Buzzsaw. How about the 6s? And that's a flat miss. Second shot. 8 is also a miss. Meanwhile, our boy Benji moves up to the first marker, moves some dirt aside, kicks some rocks over, and is rewarded with a blank box. Disappointing. Sarah, meanwhile, lines up a shot on that melee, hoping to hit the Brute instead of Codsworth. She'll receive a +2 bonus for shooting into the melee. And that's a hit with the bonus damage, but on a 2 or a 4 in the armor die, she'll hit Codsworth. Dreadful. Simply dreadful, madam. Codsworth's armor save, he blocks 1+1 with his strong armor. He will take 1 damage of his 6 health, and 1 armor token is discarded. Rather than duplicate that shot, Sarah will simply go to a prepare action and hold her fire until things become a bit more clear. As we move into turn 3, Sarah's on Overwatch, Benji moving towards the markers, Nora is close to the chop'em, and the Brute and Codsworth are smashing at each other in melee. In the event card, a new presence arrives. We'll put a marker on the board, which could be a helpful or harmful stranger. Won't know until someone interacts with it, and it stops here in front of the plane. Meanwhile, the Brute's reinforcements have arrived. They will only have 1 action each this turn, but they are coming in on the survivors' back lines and are ready to wreak some havoc for their buddy. Speaking of which, the Brute's going to finish his charge. He gets a black dice for the charge, along with a mess of other dice for his sledgehammer and freak of strength, and he hits on an 8 with a bonus damage. Codsworth makes the armor roll. That's not good. That's not good at all. Where Codsworth, his last strong armor token goes away, and he takes more damage. Down to 3. Meanwhile, his second action, the Brute will eat some squirrel bits for his Psycho Squirrel and regain 2 health. He's back to half. Time for Codsworth to retaliate, because he'll be having none of this. 1 hit with the Buzzsaw. Armor roll of 3. That will get through to the Brute, bring him back down to 2. Saved by the Psycho Squirrel. Second shot going in. Second shot is a hit with 2 armor break. The only thing keeping him alive is this strong armor bonus as he goes down to 1 health. Yeah. The newcomer mutant hound will charge straight ahead into Codsworth, thankfully not getting attacked this turn, but he is now outnumbered in melee. That movement will trigger Sarah though. She will deliver her prepared shot and 2 regular shots into the aviator. Quick action shot is a miss. First regular shot, hitting on 6s, hit with a bonus damage. Aviator makes an armor roll and saves it. Second shot comes in, also a hit with 1 armor break. Aviator only comes up with a 3. And takes 2 damage, bringing him down to 6. He will in turn take his 1 action to move up towards the problem. Starting to see what the survivors are doing here. Speaking of which, Nora will move ahead. She is in range to get to this objective. She will flip it, and it's a danger card. Life sucks. It is a serrated edge, so she has to choose whether she's going to care for the wound she just received on this broken glass. She can test for endurance or be stunned. She does not want to be stunned right now. So we're going to test endurance on 4. Fails the endurance check. We flip a token to see what kind of damage she gets, and it's 1 rad. Everything's radioactive out here. Since she's at full health, we flip one of her tokens over and mark it as rad damage. She will be unable to heal that normally until she's gotten rid of that rad. Benji, meanwhile, still doing his job well. He's going to keep running on with the sound of the battle behind him. Moving on towards the next token, which is at the base of this crashed helicopter up here. He'll be in range to get to that next turn. As we move into turn 4, Sarah reloading. Codsworth not in a great place, surrounded by enemies. Nora nursing a radioactive cut on glass apparently, and Benji on the other side of the board. Everyone's kind of spread out, but there's a lot of hurt going on right now. We've got a static buildup as the event for the turn, so computer skills, which isn't really relevant, are at a -2. Meanwhile, the mutant hound will charge into Codsworth, finishing his attack. And just to show you how bad of a shape he is, this is a blue, yellow, and black die for the hound bite, plus a black die for the charge, plus the green die for outnumbering him. This is gonna hurt. Hitting on 6s. It's a hit with an extra damage and an armor break on old Kodzi. Card's coming in with the armor check, only blocks 1 of them, taking him down to 1 health remaining. Dog goes for a second chomp, but misses, singeing his teeth on the thruster. Codsworth is going to retaliate with his buzzsaw into the dog in order to even the score a little bit. Hitting with an armor break, that goes straight through all the mutant hound's armor, bringing him down to 3 health. As he's on his last metaphorical leg and surrounded by enemies, Codsworth makes the bold decision to fire his flamer at the point right next to him, which will catch all 3 of them inside the blast. Going to hit on 4s. That is a hit with a bonus damage. 3 damage flamer on everybody. Let's do some armor checks. Mutant Hound fails completely. Super Mutant Brute fails completely. And finally, Codsworth himself can only block 2. And in a giant, devastating fireball, all 3 of them go down, leaving the smell of charcoal and burnt electronics in the air. Sarah goes for a long-range shot on the aviator, hitting on 6s as 1 miss and 1 hit. Aviator's armor stops some of it, but not enough, and he goes down to 5 health. Aviator himself will move forward yellow and will then finish a easy charge right into Nora. Nora's turn, she's going to take a dose of jet. What that's going to do is give her an immediate quick action, an immediate prepare, and she can now use her quick action to move as well. And that is just what she'll do. With her eyes blurring from the jet, she stumbles backwards out of reach, but that will draw a single attack from the aviator at a -2. He is swinging a ton of dice, hitting on 5s, oh, and thankfully misses cleanly with a 10. With some distance now, Nora backs up onto the plane, getting herself a little bit of high ground and putting some distance between them. And she'll take a shot with her pistol at the aviator, hitting with the bonus damage. And he only blocks 1, bringing him down to 3 health. Meanwhile, our boy Benji scrambles up the side of this crashed chopper, opens up the cargo container, tears it open, and it is the armor. So Benji straps himself into a brand new set of T-51 power armor and is now looking for that long run back across the field to safety. As we move into turn 5, the only enemy left is the aviator, relentlessly pursuing Nora up onto the wreckage of the aircraft, and unaware that Benji has now obtained the suit of power armor. A group of vertibirds swoop overhead, but otherwise there are no effects for this turn. The aviator will knock back a tasty blood pack, bringing him back up to 6 health, and will use his other action to charge up the wreckage into Nora's position. Nora will respond, having braced and prepared for this, and will use her token to fire back at full strength, hitting easily with a 5 total, but he blocks it both with his armor. On her turn, her jet will allow her to generate a prepare token again, and she will fire twice with her pistol in close combat. Fantastic hit with an extra damage, and the super mutant doesn't block any of it, taking 2. She fires again, hitting again in close combat, but his armor holds true this time. Meanwhile, Benji's still getting his armor legs, and he starts the plodding journey back across the battlefield, hoping to remain somehow unnoticed in his giant tin can suit. Sarah realizes she's not doing much good up here, and she will jump from the billboard down to the bottom. It will count as 1 rank lower because she's deliberately jumping and not falling. So it will be black die plus 2 damage. That's not good. That's a sprained ankle right there. And her armor only stops 1 of it. Her strong armor token goes away for another point, and she takes 2 damage. But at least we're on the ground. In a more horizontal move, she'll move up to the stranger to implore for help next turn. Moving into turn 6, we are getting down to the wire here. Benji is within a couple of turns of the border, and the aviator is still locked in combat with Nora. He has clear skies out, so any blank black we treat it as a -1. Team Super Mutant still has the advantage. The aviator with a black token from his charge will swing his huge club stop sign at Nora. Devastating hit with knockback, stun, and extra damage. Nora rolls for her armor and blocks 1 point of it. Her strong armor goes down to 1, and she takes 2 more damage, going down to half health. She can't be knocked backwards because the plane's at her back, but she will get a stun marker and will immediately react to that attack using her quick action to remove the stun marker. Aviator decides to swing again. Once again, astounding damage with another stun. Does Nora's armor hold? It does not. With a giant crash of metal, Nora is knocked backwards into the wreckage, and she is out of the game. Sarah runs up to the stranger and implores them to help, to discover that they are a haywire Protectron, who will wander and possibly self-destruct at any given time, like all good Protectrons do. As her second action, with the aviator in cover, she will prepare an action in case he comes around the corner. Benji's getting the hang of this suit, taking the big loping steps towards the south end of the board. If he is not stopped, he is in a perfect position to make it off the board in the next turn. At the end of the turn, the Protectron randomly wanders off in sort of a that-away direction. Moving into turn 7, the survivors are close to their objective. The aviator has dispensed with Nora, but is now in a terrible position to pursue them. He's realizing that he's been had and has 1 chance to stop them. Our event for this turn is a hidden observer. Somebody's watching them. That won't be a plot point later, I'm sure. The aviator, shouting in rage, moves as far as he can towards them. Stepping into the sunlight, he makes a clean target for Sarah and her hunting rifle. She'll expend a prepare action and will miss. He'll unleash his combat shotgun towards Sarah since he has no hope of hitting Benji. And he misses as well. Shots gone wild. Realizing that Benji could leave, we're first going to exact some vengeance. Sarah takes shots with her rifle. One clean miss. And a second shot, which hits with 2 armor break. And he blocks none of it. With only a few feet between him and freedom, Benji turns and takes a single shot with his pipe pistol out of defiance. And he hits! Overwhelming hit! There's really nothing the Super Mutant's armor can do about that, as the slug takes him right in the neck and he goes down. His vengeance satisfied, Benji makes the final move, reaching the board edge, leaving, making this a survivor victory. So that was Fallout Wasteland Warfare, just a quick suit up mission from the Campaign Handbook. Assuming I don't injure myself trying to edit the thing and post it, and if people like it, then maybe we'll do this more often. Once again, if you liked it or if you had any changes, anything you wanted to say, just comment below. Let me know how it went, and thanks for watching.